Practice being slow to speak and just listen. Another warm welcome back to the Lead to Exceed chat with me, Henry Bai. In the previous episodes of the Emotional Intelligence series, we have tackled what emotional intelligence is. We unpacked the various components of emotional intelligence, looking at Goleman's 4 quadrants. We also discussed the importance of emotional intelligence and put out a few qualities of people who are high in emotional intelligence. One of the questions that we have received is, are people born emotionally intelligent or they can build themselves to become emotionally intelligent? In our previous chats, we established the point that unlike intelligence quotient, which tends to be constant over time, emotional intelligence quotient is one that can be developed over time. The personality of people tends to be largely defined via what is known as their synaptic connections. However, when it comes to emotional intelligence, it's quite closely connected to the process of maturing in life, and people who mean to walk the journey to build their emotional intelligence can make a success of it. Let me share a few tips on how one can develop emotional intelligence. Start with your philosophy. What people believe, how they think, and how they behave has a lot to do with their philosophical underpinning. There is a big difference, for example, between somebody who believes that a marriage is a pure business contract and those who believe that it is a love relationship. A philosophy that places human beings at the center as precious and deserve to be treated with respect is more likely to take subjects like emotional intelligence more seriously than one which believes that human beings are a thing to be used to achieve their whims and caprices. Spend time building your philosophies. As some of you may know by now, my philosophical underpinning is the Bible. With all the controversy it represents for some people, it is for me the best book to help build wisdom and provide guidance on human conduct. Secondly, learn to listen. The first person to listen to is yourself. It's important to listen to the emotions you feel, what triggers them, and how they result into your actions. When you are in a conversation with others, learn to listen actively with a view to genuinely hearing what they are saying. Sometimes you need to be deliberate to practice keeping quiet and just listening. Do not just await your turn to speak. Expose yourself to a wide range of perspectives. The more diverse opinions you encounter, the more comfortable you will be with the fact that everyone is different, with different perspectives shaped by their unique experiences. This will open your mind to worlds beyond your own. Practice being slow to speak sometimes and just listen. Listen to what is said and what is not said. This means you do not only listen with your ears, you also listen with your heart and with your eyes. If you really want to build your emotional intelligence, please learn to practice listening. Third, learn to observe. The second important tip to building your emotional intelligence is observation. There is a lot that goes on during human interactions. Many people do not care about what happens. They come into every interaction with an interest and seek to defend that interest and totally miss out on what is happening around them. Sometimes being observant will inform you when you need to tackle a thing in a particular interaction or in a different setting. Observe the chemistry between people and in groups. Observe the body language of people. Observe the atmosphere. Observe the exchanges between people, and above all, observe how different people react to different stimulus. Sometimes it is great to be an observer, and nothing is wrong with being an observer. Learn to reflect and act on feedback. We established in our earlier chat that one of the qualities of emotionally intelligent people is that they have the capacity to be comfortable with feedback, whether positive or formative. The tricky thing is that it takes a deliberate practice of getting, reflecting on, and acting on feedback to develop that comfort. If you're a senior person and your team members know that they can feel comfortable to provide you with feedback without fear of retribution, then you have developed a fantastic quality. One easy way to reflect on yourself is by completing what we call 360-degree feedback, in which you evaluate your performance and then match it up against the opinions of your boss, peers, and direct reports. Through this process, you will gain insights into your own behavior and discover how you're perceived in the organization. Learn to learn. One of the practices I've found very helpful is to go back to people after meetings and ask them how they felt about something I said, especially if I sensed anything awkward during the earlier interaction. This has been one of the greatest ways I have learned to check in with people on the impact I make on them during interactions. That way, I learn. Probably one of the best ways to short-circuit your journey to build emotional intelligence is to have experienced mentors and coaches to work with during your journey. Sometimes discussing a situation and asking how someone else might handle it differently helps you to evaluate the pros and cons of different approaches. Being deliberate about going back and applying learnings from reflections and feedback is the best way of practicing to be emotionally intelligent. Obviously, getting on the journey to deliberately build on one's emotional intelligence in a lot of ways will require stepping out of comfort zones. No matter how emotionally intelligent a person is, they may sometimes say the wrong things or act in an inappropriate way. It is not a quest in perfection. It is an exercise in being human. It is an exercise in practicing maturity and empathy and truly understanding oneself. So as always, do you have a question on leadership or anything that you would like to explore? Have you heard anything in this chat that has triggered a question on your mind? Or is there any particular thing that you would just like to explore a bit more? If you answered yes to any of these questions, feel free to put a comment in the comment section or shoot a question at us through the email on your screen. Remember to like, comment, share, and also subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification button so that next time we share content, you will be the first to know. This has been me, Henry Baye, on the Lead to Exceed chat. Lead to Exceed, inspiring leaders, multiplying